and welcome. Welcome to my show. My name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I am broadcasting at you live from right here in the UK. I'm part of the Bigfoot Outlaw family. Our entire channel is dedicated to everything mysterious, everything esoteric. Bigfoot Outlaw family is run by Grizzly, who is backstage right now, pulling all the levers and looking after you and looking after your messages. This weekend, Grizzly is going to be broadcasting, streaming 24-hour a day live throughout the whole weekend from the Haunted Museum in Harlan, Kentucky. Let me get you the details I've got written on the side because I don't want to get this wrong, because this is a massive, massive event. So I've got it here. It's Grizz along with his co-host Justin Decker. They're going to be at the Coal Miners Museum in Harlan, Kentucky, which is haunted. They're also going to be staying in the haunted hotel, which has been converted from an old school. That is going to be filmed both by the channel and also by a TV crew, and you will be able to watch Grizzly sleep, which, admit it, is one of your life goals. So they're going to be streaming everything, every last detail. You'll be able to follow them as they wake up, as they're checking on the hauntings. You'll be able to see any nighttime paranormal activity, any daytime paranormal activity. They're going to be staying in different rooms, so you will have cameras pointed at different rooms and you'll be able to experience it with them. So for anyone watching, this is a real crazy rare experience to be able to do the haunting, the haunting from a different country. If you're outside of Kentucky, if you're outside of the UK, outside of the USA, if you're unable to leave home for whatever reason, this experience brings the hunt to you. And even more, if you're listening to us on any of the podcasting platforms, the channel goes out on all podcasting platforms. You'll be able to experience it if you're in the car listening, if you're listening from work. So this makes the entire esoteric world accessible to you. Thank you for joining us. I see that lots of messages have already come welcoming the show, and there's a few follow-up questions which I will get to, absolutely. But I have a topic that I wanted for all of us to talk about this evening, and that is okay, so I came up with like a real clever name for it, and then I think if I'm going to say it and it's not going to sound as clever as what I think it is, so just go with me on this one. But I thought we're going to talk about the hidden part of the occult. The reason that this is funny is because I think to some people, they think the word occult is like a big, scary, portentous, difficult, dark part of the world, but actually occult means hidden. And so the occult world are just the things that are hidden from sight, things that go bang in the night, and all the psychic arts. And the occult arts or the occult skills are everything that we deal with on the channel. So I wanted for us to, first of all, have a little conversation about how many of you need to hide this part of your lives as you go about your daily life. So hi, Power Women. Hi, Amy. Yes, you're both exactly correct. Occult meant hidden. Yeah, that's why I thought it was such a witty name to talk about the hidden part of occult. So for the first part of the show, I would love to share my experience in what I needed to hide, or, spoiler already, I didn't really need to hide that much at all. And what I've experienced through my clients having to hide that part of their lives. And then I would love to hear of all of your different types of upbringing. If you're comfortable sharing what year you were born, what part of the world you were born, and if that has any bearing on how much you needed to hide it. So first of all, for me, it's actually a very, very short story. I didn't grow up in a religious environment at all. My family are Jewish Israeli, so the religion was not really a big part of us. It was more doing things because it's the culture, less because of faith. And so when I burst into the sort of family scene with a pack of tarot cards, showing my tarot cards, and the crystal ball, the only thing that was unusual is that nobody else believed in anything, and I could see all sorts of things, so that was unusual. But there was no mainstream religion kind of pushback against it. However, when I was mentoring a client and also a friend, sometimes friends become clients, sometimes clients become friends. When I was mentoring her, teaching her how to read the tarot, teaching her how to meditate, she had to keep that very hidden, very far away from her family, especially her mom. Her mom was quite religious, and she was religious as well. She was a person of faith, but she also saw that the tarot worked really, really well for her. I didn't realize both of you are Amy's. That's funny that I bunched you in the same compliment together. So we had a message from Parawoman saying USA, Florida, November 6, 1970. Right, amazing. So we've got the 70s. We've got a few Scorpios here. No surprise at all. So for you, did you, wow, Parawoman, I'm going to discuss that with you in a second. Did you find that you had to hide it? Did you find that there was any kind of sense of shame? Now, it's actually more interesting, I think, in a way, Parawoman, because you're a Scorpio, and so hiding things will be a little bit more natural for you. But let me know what it's like for us, for a Scorpio born 1970 in the USA. Were you able to be open about it straight away? We've got the lovely Tor, my bestie, saying that for him, I felt I had to hide mine for a long time because of my pop career, right? So Tor was a child star, a child musician. You couldn't be a psychic and sing pop songs when I started. Then I was outed by a magazine. It lifted the secrecy. I think it's a little bittersweet when somebody else does the kind of not conversion, that does the kind of outing for you. So Power Women, Amy 1, Amy 2, which one did you decide you were? Amy says, yes, I almost drowned in all my water when I was younger. Now we've got, sorry, all the messages are coming in. So Art by Sin says, I'm a cusp. What star sign are you, Sin? Good to meet you. And Parawoman Radio, I'm reading the message on the screen now. Yes, says I almost drowned in all my water when I was younger. So Sin is 23rd, 1975, without a month. But yeah, 1975. And Tora says, hi, Grace, so excited for your live weekend. So we've got a really good message from R when it comes to the screen. I'll read it out. Art by Sin is an October Scorpio. So we've got quite a few Scorpios. Amazing. So you're 23rd of October. Very exciting. Para Woman says, all my Scorpio waters have 4 planets in Scorpio on top of being one. That is really interesting. Let me know whether you find yourself to be even more secretive than a usual Scorpio. So R says, 1989 born, UK here, and I had to hide a lot. Can anyone relate to that? I was forced to hide from family members or when with the family in public. That's my Assyrian family ethics, though. I would still be expected to hide. So this is a person who is in his mid 30s. Still, see, you thought you're still in your early 30s, but I matured you. So in your mid 30s, still expected to hide. And what's interesting is that other elements in your family are also interested in this kind of life, but you have to hide it. They have to hide it. Mary says, I'm Cancer 1955. That's interesting, Mary, because Cancerians would be very naturally psychic, very naturally intuitive. But did you find that you had to hide it in childhood, in adulthood, in early adulthood? And Laurie Sue actually says, I can see the comments on the side. That Laurie Sue is saying, Mary, someone older than me, finally. So it's something that I find myself having to say, because wherever I am, I'm usually the elder. And when anyone walks through the door when they're a little bit older, it does get very, very exciting. Tor says, great to see everyone. Such a lovely community. Thank you. So yeah, let me know. Laurie Sue, did you find that you had to hide it? So you're UK as well, right? Amy, Parawoman Radio says, yes, I'm really struggling with allowing myself to be seen on YouTube. So how do you manage it? Do you sort of go with like a faceless account, or do you just sort of brave through it? By Sin says, bit my tongue all the time. So yes, we're having for new joiners. R says mid-30s. How could you? Yes, they too would hide it. Lots of hiding. For those of you joining right now, we're just having a little chit chat about the hidden part of a cult, whether you had to hide your kind of paranormal leanings, or whether you were able to be right out in the open. So I saw that Tor had message to say, sorry, I'm scrolling up on my screen to see. I'm Saji, no year. I'm not being matured. So Tor doesn't have an age. That's fine. I respect that. Leanna says, hi, everybody. Anybody who is joining us for the first time, please make sure that you subscribe, that you press the like button. That allows all of us to stay on your screen for longer. The Grizzly Bigfoot family is growing. It's growing all the time. I actually got a memory on my gallery the other day that showed me the very first time that I was on one of Grizzly's shows. So I've been here for more than a year. Mary says, 3 sisters and me, don't tell anyone outside. People don't believe. Right, but you and the sisters do communicate, just can't say it on the outside. By Sin says, I was not on the same plane as everyone else. I feel like we have a lot of water here. So we've got the Cancerians, the Scorpios. Para One Radio says, I've been going faceless, but when I have guests, I come on screen. That's very interesting, that having somebody kind of in cahoots with you gives you kind of a sole permission to be a little bit more open, a little bit more exposed. Ren says, hey, y'all. Hey, Ren, I haven't seen you in here before. So if it's the first time, hi, hi, hi. If you're new, and even if you're not, we are the Bigfoot Outlaw family. We're coming at you right now from the UK, but broadcasting coast to coast and around the world. Parawoman says, but it's not really that I care people see me. It's more like I'm secretive and don't want to be seen, if that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So I'll tell you something really, really funny. Yesterday, I was doing a relationship reading with my tarot for a couple that I've known for a long time, but not from the psychic side, which is funny because everybody I know is from the psychic side, but those are people that I know from from a different side of my life. And she's Aries and he's Scorpio. And if you know Aries are all about the oversharing. Ask me, I'll tell you. Aries don't hide anything. And I said to her, when he lies, when he hides things, him being the Scorpio, it's not because he wants for you to not know. It's just because he feels safer knowing that he's got some secrets. So if you can confirm, Scorpios, that you just feel that little bit safer. Art by Sin says, I love theater and acting because I could be someone else. So again, I don't want to call it lying, but the make-believe aspect of theater or of hiding behind like a big on-screen persona or being part of kind of a double act, that gives you a different mask to put on. Paris says, no, I feel guilty making people be on camera and I'm not. And it's off balanced. I really, really get that you like for things to be the same. Mary says, yes, and one daughter, July, January is our month. So what Mary's communicating is that her and her closest female family members can be super open with each other about the paranormal. And with other people, much less so. Twisted said, sorry, I just saw it. Please be kind as you unwind and love tap that like button, y'all. I don't think I could say all very convincingly, but I really, really appreciate. Yes, remember to subscribe. YouTube user. Oh, I know who it is. Hello, sweetheart. I know I've got some messages from you. I'm going to get to them later. Hello, darling. Good to see you. Secret name. Funnily enough, we're actually talking about the hidden side of a cult, whether you, in your culture, in your background, in your part of the world, whether you feel that you need to hide your paranormal side. So smoking shack, I don't know, I couldn't really see exactly what it said on the logo. Let us know. Amy says to Laurie Sue, one does get better at it for certain. So I think you're talking about having to hide, having to sort of keep things hidden. Right. YouTube user says, hi, it's Mitali. Yeah, I didn't know if you were saying it like in, if you're open about your name. Rest in peace, Paranormal Gear is also here. So I've got quite a few that I haven't met before. Hi, everybody. My name is Inbaal. I'm broadcasting from the UK. My tool is the tarot, and my passion is making the hidden parts of life accessible. I think it's really important to make this part of the world, not this part of existence approachable. Anything that's paranormal is also normal. That's kind of my thing. So Mitali, YouTube user, says, I have stopped doing readings. She just had a message at the bottom saying, I feel judged to an extent. So does anybody else relate to that feeling of being judged? In doing readings, I didn't feel judged, but in the beginning, I did used to get defensive because before I felt confident and comfortable with what I do, people would pick up on that lack of confidence and would come to me and say, I'm doing an impression now. I was in Sinai with a friend, and there are a lot of other Israelis there, and they would come at me in a really sort of assertive, we're from the same neighborhood, so I can talk to you like we're related. And they would come to me and they'd be like, so what you're saying is that everything that comes up is exactly what will happen, and then if I choose to do different, will it be different? And that doesn't happen anymore. And I think it doesn't happen anymore because I am confident with what I do. So I didn't feel judged, but I was judged, which is very similar to what Art by Sin said now. She said, I know when I'm being judged. I was forever uncomfortable. And I think that kind of leads the conversation into how you can change the people around you. Do you know what I mean? So Amy says, twisted. I am too quick to judge others, and I know it. You know what? Self-awareness is the best, because I know as well that I have a judgmental side to me, and it's my shadow side, and I really try to work at it, but it exists. Laurie Sue comes in with clarification. Thank you, because I missed your big message before, so that helps me understand. She says, no, Inbaal was referring to being in the public domain, front and center for others to observe, on stage, in real life, hiding it. No, preferring no longer to be public. Yes, that is a lot clearer. Thank you so much. Power Woman Radio says, I don't care anymore when people judge me. YouTube is really helping with that. I think that's really true. And as much as in many ways, I feel like social media is the root of a lot of evil. I find a lot of prejudice. People communicate their most shadower selves on social media. The fact that people can go live and can put their faces out and feel more comfortable, less camera shy, which creates, an environment of being less shy, is a plus. It is a positive. Now we're going to look at a couple more messages, and then we're going to do a demo reading, which I know we all love. So I just missed a message from Rob. So he says, from R, sorry, babe, from R, saying, I stopped reading because I felt used more than judged. I have been more judged over crystals than I have with tarot. Think I know of anyways. Maybe people do judge. That is really interesting. Thank you for sharing that, R. Ren says, my kids knew the truth about UFOs, paranormal activity early on. The school called me in to tell me I needed to teach them the difference between fantasy and reality. We learned to stop talking. Wow, that really sums up what is going on at in schools. Because if you're going to be prescribed what to believe, the fact that that it's reality, that's really sort of beside the point. But the fact that it's not even being accepted as a belief, that's a step too far, isn't it? And I tell you, I personally have marched into my kids' schools multiple times. If you see the headmistress eyeing me up in the morning, you're like, wow, why does she give you that side eye? I know why. Laurie Sue said, judgment, opinions, input, etc., at some point becomes of no import. I think that's really, really accurate. Let's just do a couple of really, really good messages that are coming on. We've got Art by Sin saying, I stopped looking in mirrors, so I'm not critical of myself, but instead share my joy and wear my joy and light, because I notice this in others. So then I know that's what is seen in me. I have to say to you, Sin, your photo, you look absolutely stunning. So if you have got to a point where you judge yourself to the point where you don't want to look in a mirror, somebody had gone too far. at some or another point. And let's just do one last message from Power Woman Radio says, I heard a Christian channel say that they were stealing crystals back from those new agers as if we stole their powers. My family's church literally had a pamphlet out on how to deal with crystals. Wow. And again, we're looking at trying to monitor other people's beliefs, which, you know, is not really that cool anyway. But yeah, let me please welcome my guest, and please join me in welcoming my guest, my friend Joyce, who we always say we've got to do a reading, and we've never managed to do a reading. So let's put our hands together and welcome Joyce onto the screen. Hey,
hi guys. Hi.
Hi. We haven't seen each other since Christmas.
I know, a long time.
And let me just explain the setup for everybody watching. So I would normally have people who don't know each other doing the readings. So me and Joyce do know each other, but not from a psychic side. We work together, and it's actually a little bit funny that we met on TV, and now we're doing the first reading that we're finally managing to do on screen, you know, for people to watch. So there's an oversharing element, and for anybody watching from the UK, look, it's Joyce from Steph's Pack Lunch. Yay! Woo! So
Hi.
I was just going to say what I already know beforehand, because I don't actually know that much about you, just so that when stuff comes up in a reading and I already know it, so that it doesn't look like like a fake wow, so that I'm just sort of looking for the stuff that I don't know. So I know that Joyce is actually ironically living in the same town as me. So she's from my town. I'm not from there. We're just on opposite ends of town and never ever meet. I know that she's worked in education for a long time, and I know that she's got a very beautiful daughter. That's it. That's the end. That's all I know. And that, you know, and that we had a TV job together.
Yeah.
So have you had readings before, Joyce?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Oh, and obviously I know that you're a Pisces like me, so that'll be
through and through.
Yeah, through and through. Did you have anything that you wanted to ask about? Did you want to start from a general reading? Was there anything playing on your mind?
I think a general reading. I do have a couple of people that are on my mind who are very sick.
Right.
And I just wondered how they're going to do, or how long they're going to be with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So Amy at the bottom is commenting to say, cool, was a substitute teacher, works in education as well. That's nice, but I know you're very passionate about this line of work. Right. Your cards, you will be very unsurprised to know, are very colorful, very bubbly. But you know what's interesting? So it shows obviously you as a colorful, bubbly person. But you know what's interesting? It says that you're very bubbly, kind of all on the outside, but on the inside, you're super organized. Everything is neat. Everything is meticulous. Your way of thinking. I could ask you a question about anything that you once knew, and you'll be able to dig into that part of your brain and pull it out. And also that kind of very neat and organized thinking shows a great sense of justice, that you can pick up on an injustice, on a bullying, even if it's like implied, even if it's imperceptible, you would zoom in on it, and you would know immediately. Like, I could tell you a story, or you could be around people, you would know immediately who is telling the truth and who isn't. So like a human lie detector. It shows that you're very happy living for people, doing things for others, being very Pisces. But I actually feel like it's starting to take its toll a little bit. And what it says here is that you're finding yourself suddenly being a bit more quiet, suddenly being a bit more melancholy, not because of things that are happening to you, but because of things that are happening to others. And why I think that is, you're like, is it age? Is it? No, I feel like you don't have an effective, like, emptying mechanism. Do you know what I mean? You get
Yeah.
filled up and filled up and filled up with other people's sorrows, and you don't have anywhere to pour it to. So if you've been socializing less than what you used to, then you don't have anywhere to, like, offload that sadness. I've got one of your fans, Taurus, says, I love Joyce on Packed Lunch.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
see, I knew there would be some fans. So the one thing that is coming up here that's like not colorful, not awesome, is the fact that you're carrying other people's not misfortune, other people's melancholy along with you, and you've got to find a way to develop a mechanism where you can offload it. So a friend who loves listening to sad things, maybe another Pisces friend, you know, because we love hearing people's problems. It makes them feel better, and you know, we can carry it, but there's got to be a limit. Now, I have got a bit of travel coming up in the cards for you in the next 2 months. I know just from knowing you that you've had sort of surgery. Well, it's like a whole year ago, is it? But
January. Yeah.
right,
Well,
yeah.
that was
So that's not something that I see from the cards, but it's something that that obviously I know you from knowing you. But it also shows that you feel as if you've had to slow yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
What it means is that instead of coming up with different, original, exciting ways to be active and to keep active, you're waiting for your knees to go back to how they were. I
Yeah.
don't want to be the cow that says they're not going to go back to how they were. They're not going to go back to how they were. They're going to be better, but they're not going to be all better. The
No.
focus, look at that. Look at that. This guy, right? He's sitting there in a chariot. There's people pulling him and he's getting places, right? So what it means is that keep active, of course, do your physio, whatever you need to do so that you get stronger all the time. But at the same time, don't let that slow you down in other ways. Don't be
No.
like, oh, I'm going to meet everybody when I feel better. No, meet everyone now. Take an
Yeah.
Uber. That
Yes, I do.
you've placed more constrictions on yourself than what was entirely necessary. So we've got those as your generals, but I know a Pisces, you're not that bothered about yourself. I know that you said you wanted to ask about the other people, so let's look at the other people, and then we'll go back and see if you've got any questions about yourself. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Thank
Love
you.
it. Right, so who's the first person that you're worried about?
Well, he's my ex-husband. I was married to him 28 years ago, but he's pretty sick. He's gone into a home. He's got Parkinson's. I have visited him and I'm supporting the kids with it, but I don't know how long he's going to be around.
Do you know, I feel like literally up until like this July gone, he was still keeping optimistic as much as possible in that. But just now in the summer, his get up and go has got up and gone. He's gone downhill mentally. And now he's thinking, what's the point? And he feels like he is a burden, which is a terrible way for somebody to feel. And his mental health is actually deteriorating at a faster rate than his physical health. He is now existing for the people that love him. He's not existing for himself anymore. I've actually got a couple of the viewers, because a lot of people here are very psychic, and somebody is adding to say he's tired. And I think that's an accurate message.
Yeah,
I feel
you.
like he's holding on until next summer. but he's not keen. He's not keen. He's doing it for the kids. He's doing it for you. I know you said an ex-husband, but he still really loves you. Maybe just in a different way. That was an iconic face you pulled there.
Well, I think dementia's setting in. So I said to my son, Tom, I hope he doesn't think we're still married, but it could do.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be it.
When I don't go and visit, he calls me and say, where are you?
I think as Pisces, we straddle both worlds. So when people start traveling towards like the end part, they notice the Pisces around them more. I know I had that with Sean's Nana. When she was getting close to the end, she forgot everybody's names. Inbaal, she didn't forget. She couldn't recognize a lot of people. Me, she could recognize. And I really think it's the Pisces because we're very comfortable in an environment of, you know, of sickness and death and stuff like that. And one of the viewers is saying, waiting for someone to visit to say so long. A little twisted says that. And Amy is adding, people know when on way out. Yeah, which is very, very true. So I feel like he is still kind of holding on. Yeah. I would say his deterioration started in July, and I feel like he will exit in July. So maybe July is an important part for him. Maybe there's somebody who is a Cancerian in his life. Our viewer R is saying might be nice and comforting for him to have that belief of having you as his wife by his side. Yeah. It's, you know, it's not really a huge sacrifice for you to play along just while you're there.
Not at all, because I'm doing it for the kids, and also he's a good man. He was a good husband. It was me really that wasn't happy in the situation, and I left. A good guy, and that's why he was in hospital for 4 weeks, and I only missed 3 days of visiting. And now he's in a home. I said to Tom and Grace, my kids, look, I'm going to back off a bit with the visiting, but he even called me today and said, when are you coming? And I went yesterday, and I said, Colin, I told you I wasn't coming today, but I will keep visiting and supporting because he's a good guy and he deserves it.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of messages for him and you of support coming through the comments. And Grizzly, who runs this channel and who is exceptionally psychic, says, bless you and him, Joyce. You have a great soul. So for him, yes, I can see the deterioration. I feel like it's July and that he's holding on for you guys. And then who else would you like to ask for?
I have a dear friend called Louise, and she has cancer. And each week I give her Reiki with being a Reiki master, I give her Reiki, and that is supporting her. But I got a message from her husband tonight saying that she'd gone into hospital because she'd been so poorly, and the cancer spread to her brain.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, she came to me last week on Thursday for some Reiki, and she's scheduled to come this week, but she's in hospital. So I know she's a poorly lady. She's only 51, 52. She's 6 kids. The youngest is in year 7, who is 12. And that she's going to have a grandchild at Christmas, but she knows she's not going to make it.
She's not. That's it. It's weeks, not even months. And when they scan her, do they x-ray? How do they find growth? When is it MRI?
She went in. Dominic, her husband, texted me today and said that she went in on Monday, and they found that the cancer spread to her brain, so she hasn't got a chance.
Yeah, no, it's when they scan her, they're going to find there are actually lots and lots of little growths, like she's dotted with them. I don't want to find positive in cancer, but because there's lots and lots of little growths, basically her whole body is going to shut down at once, which is a blessing only compared with parts shutting down each in their own time. I feel like she's really made her peace with it. She has a lot of faith, and that faith is not like religion specific.
No.
She has a lot of faith that she served her role in the world. She doesn't want to go, don't get me wrong, but she has a lot of faith that there is an afterlife and that she will still watch her children grow. But I feel, let me show you the cards because it's really interesting. It's showing that what they found now is like 3 kind of medium growths, but the card that comes immediately after has 8 little shoots. What it shows is that she's got somebody on the other side, maybe her grandmother, somebody like that, who is already really preparing for her so that her transition is smooth, so that it's not like a slow, drawn out process.
Yeah.
I see it between 3 to 8 weeks. I feel like 8 weeks, if she really, really wants to hold on, if she's waiting, you know, if she's trying to wait for Christmas. I don't see Christmas, I'll be honest.
I don't. No.
She's going to miss the baby by about 2 weeks. But she will be there. She will be entering as the baby's about to be exiting the afterlife. So that will be, you know, when you are small and you have those imaginary friends and so on. She will be that to the baby. She's ready to go. She's not keen to go, but she's ready to go. She's not coming out of hospital. Sorry for saying, you know, such horrible things. She's not coming out of hospital. She's sorted. All of her like affairs are in order. They know all her passwords.
She's bought little teddies for all of her children.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. She's done all of that. And she was actually saying to me last week when she came for Reiki that, you know, she's discussed a funeral, and it's really hard because when somebody is having Reiki, they go to sleep. A lot of them do. And she did look as if she died. And it was a bit like, oh my God, this is where she's going to go shortly. It was a bit woof for me.
You don't want to lose your license.
But I just thought, oh my God, Louise, you're a poorly lady.
Yeah.
And when she talked, because when you give Reiki, you talk about your intent. And you know, and her intent was to feel better. And obviously my intent was to be a channel of her peace and to help heal her mind, body and soul. But I'm not going to save her from death, but she did feel a lot better when she'd had the Reiki.
I think towards the final stages, it makes a big difference whether you're twisting in agony or whether you're at peace and disassociated from the pain. So if that's what you gave her, that's a beautiful gift to give her.
Yeah. But I've got another friend who, I have 2 friends who have got cancer, and I gift the Reiki to them, and they both feel empowered by it, which is a wonderful feeling for me as well.
It's the best gift. What can you give somebody on the way out? It's the best gift. You know, you don't need the flowers, the perfume, the pajamas. You need that kind of divine connection. Exactly. Thank you so much. Did you enjoy your reading, Joyce?
Yes, and I will come and see you again, definitely.
Thank you. You're always welcome to come, and thank you so much for joining us. Lots of love to you. Thank you. And thanks everybody for helping out with the reading. Your input matters a lot. Thank you. That was really, really, really helpful. It was a really beautiful thing to share with you. Ren says, such a sad story. Absolutely. And Taurus says, sending lots of love, Joyce. Thank you so, so much. Twisted says, nice to meet you, Joyce. Thank you, Twisted, and for the wonderful messages. Paris says, hugs and love, Joyce. Thank you. And we've really only got a few minutes left, so I would love to of ours says love to Joyce and everyone involved. If a couple of you would like to have little readings, I think, did Laura Sue?
Oh, I do. I want a
Hey,
reading. So
Chris.
yes.
Yes, it's a yes from me. Let's do
Wow.
that.
Nice. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inbaal from UK. I wanted to slide in on her show. I usually never do this, but why not today? We got some things going on this weekend that she discussed. We are being filmed, and we are filming in Kentucky. So I wanted to see what she has in store for us.
Let's see how your special weekend in Kentucky is going to go in the Coal Miners Museum in
That is
Ireland.
correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Who's
Wonderful
a pro?
show.
Who's a pro?
Joyce, I love Joyce. She has a beautiful, beautiful soul.
Beautiful energy.
Beautiful. Yes.
Beautiful energy. And I tell you, I've worked with her. And when you just sit and talk to her, you're enveloped by that energy. It's such a joy to just be side by side with her. Right. First of all, you are going to come back with a lot of evidence. A lot of evidence. Have you got, because it says it's not just film evidence, it's not just audio evidence. So what else can you have? Handprints?
Oh, you would not believe the type of equipment I'm bringing. I've actually ordered more equipment. So yeah, and I even got my SpongeBob briefs I'm going to have for the air.
Do you know what? I really want to ask what it is, but I'm a little scared of the answer. I'm not going to lie. A little frightened of the answer. So you're going to come back with a lot of evidence, both of you. I see you and Justin strutting back. You're not coming back when you come back. You are strutting back. Yeah, there we go.
All
okay,
right.
good job on the strutting. We're going to work with Justin on that. I also see a very interesting, lucrative offer on the table.
Oh. I sound like a dang wrong monkey, don't I? It's interesting.
Who laughs like this? Wait.
Yes, Tor. I went and dug my SpongeBob briefs out, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm telling you. And somebody says, "Do you snore?" You got to tune in and find out that part. But
that
anyway.
You don't know. You're going to find yourself an object of everyone's affection with that kind of dirty talk on your clean show. So a lucrative offer on the table from somebody in the know, not somebody who just throws money at stuff to see what sticks, from somebody who knows things. Ren says, how exciting, Grizzly. Are you filming this adventure?
Yeah, no, we are filming it, and then we are being filmed as we are filming. So we're filming, and we're being filmed as we're filming it. And we're doing 2 locations at the same time. That's what's ironic. So I told Justin, we're going to just stream it all weekend, nonstop. I've got, hello out there, FDL Paranormal. We got also Eric that's going to help switch the cameras around. So if you want to see my bedroom bigger than Justin's and different cameras, he's going to make them big, like I was doing Inbaal behind the stage. See, and now she's big, so he's going to be able to click on different cameras. So you're all going to have to tell Eric or whoever's monitoring the cameras, click on this one, click on that one. What's going on? Just don't call and scare me in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep. So what happened?
Anyway. No, it was cute. Now, this is really like a mystery thing for anyone that's listening just to the audio later on a podcast. Grizzly played with the cameras. And guys, if you're listening to this on audio alone, go to YouTube, switch the video on, enjoy it.
Absolutely. So this is off the chart. And so we actually, Inbaal knows, we've been actually working on a lot of things. So somebody in Inbaal called it about a month or so ago. I got a script yesterday for a part. So you was right on that. I got a script, and it's not only myself, but it's our network that's going to be a part of it. So it's interesting how it's going to work. Yeah. So I got to work out the details. But anyways, go ahead.
That is interesting.
I'm fascinated.
No, I'm not done.
I know. That's what I'm saying. After you.
So we had all the evidence. Look at you and Justin strutting. Yeah, let's do the strutting again. Yeah, because you'll need to get used to the strutting. We've got the lucrative offer. Look, beautiful, beautiful.
Right
It
on.
might be something where the check only clears in like April or something, like a long-term thing.
Yeah, it does. It takes a while.
Yeah, but it's there. It's there. And the final thing is writing. This is getting a write-up in multiple local papers, and then that write-up,
you are right on that. Yeah,
right,
and
then that write-up will find its way to all sorts of places. So this thing that you're doing, it's not a paranormal investigation and that's it. What you're doing, you've discovered some kind of a vortex, some kind of a mine of opportunity.
I did.
That's where opportunities are buried, in Harlan, Kentucky, where Grace and Justin are going to be investigating the Coal Miners Museum.
I did. So I got the 50 cal out and mounted on my bow, and I got the 20 mil, and I fired some shots back. And they were like, Grizzly, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm like, why not? If you're going to grab the bull by its horn, I'm going to take it to the ground. Yeah. And they're like, let's do it. And I'm like, yeah, let's roll. Why not? So I cannot say thank you, Parawoman Radio. Thank you. And so how I roll, ladies and gentlemen, is that I'm not a hog, even though I used to be a cop. I share, right? So if I go, I take people with me, and that's how we do these things. He's trash talking. I ain't trash talking. I say when I go, I take people with me, and that's how we all roll in this business. Is we don't forget about everybody, because if it wasn't for you guys, Inbaal, even our viewers that are watching, I couldn't do this. I couldn't travel. I couldn't go across country and film and take pictures and do what I do. And it really means a lot to me to have this opportunity just to even take pictures and to do any type of filming, whether it's small or big or whatever part it is. It's just great. And there's, some of the conferences I've been going to, they are a good size. I think a couple of them I'm going to are 15 or 20,000 people in a weekend. And I can't say what my involvement is on them, but it's just like, it's because of the viewers, and it's because of everybody that's watching that gives us the opportunity. And Inbaal is working on things for our network and platform, and that we are, like she said earlier in the show, we are growing, ladies and gentlemen, and we are expanding, and we are doing it the right way. And we're not going to go in too far into it, but don't you agree with that, Inbaal?
Absolutely. And I've always said in my work, community over competition.
Yes, absolutely.
Community over competition. We could see all ourselves as psychics competing for a buck, or we could band together and make those opportunities. And I feel like I've always been so lucky to be involved in environments where community was everything. And that's why I've always got, like extra psychics to offer. If I'm booked to do a party and they go, do you know any extra psychics? I'll be like, yeah, all the best ones. How many do you need? Because the community is what creates this environment for us. Yes. Because we are a big force. And it kind of links back to where I started tonight, because the less we hide it, the more we come together. The more we come together, the less we need to hide it, because, babe, we are the new normal.
Yeah, we are. And Amy's over there shooting shots across my bow. I was talking about the bull. That's why they had the bull with the nose ring, is to control the bull. And that's not trash talking. Is that I'm donating a lot of my time to, you almost got me to say it, Amy, shame on you. But I'm donating a lot of my time to some things free of charge to help people in things that need help. And that's just who we are. And if you're going to do it, we do it all the way, not halfway. That's what I'm saying. So, no, I don't think that's trash talking, dear. And the little Twisted said, boom. Yes, Inbaal. Drop the mic. Absolutely. All right. So I want to jump off here. You do your thing, but thank you. That's really good.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. All right. You're doing always do a fantastic job, Inbaal. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next show. Good.
Right. So exciting to get to read for the boss. So before we finish, I'm going to do the reading that came from Lori Sue, was it? About the time sensitive thing, about the apartment. Is that right? I'm scrolling the messages on the side so that I've got it in front of me. Yeah, there we go. Last week, Lori Sue says, you were kind enough to read on a time-sensitive subject. However, the time is up and I am still homeless despite my efforts, etc. I'm curious as to what you might be seeing. Thank you. So only managing to do this one reading today, but it looks like it came at the exact right time for you. Let's see, Lori Sue. Right. There's one person who is blocking you. Now, I don't want to be, a snitch, but I feel like it's on purpose. There's somebody who's blocking you on purpose just to see you floundering. Is it on a energy level? Is it on a physical level? Right. Now, when people are all like, is there a curse on me? And you always have to go, no, there, it's very rare. You don't say it doesn't happen. It's very rare. I feel like there's somebody who sends you bad vibes and it stops you from getting to where you need to be getting. And that was supposed to stop a whole 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to stop a while back, but it's still kind of it's still dragging. So you need to do a big clearing, get all the sage you can afford, set fire to it, big bonfire of sage. And in the meantime, on the practical level, there is something legal that you can flick a switch on to make things move quicker for you, right? So yeah, it's about the apartment. Last Saturday said 6 days. Obviously, since last week, 7 days have passed. So 6 days it's not. But I feel like there is some kind of a legal switch that you can flick in order to make things move forward for you. So I really hope that helps. Can't wait to hear how well it goes next week. We're going to stay on top of it. But for everybody, I just want to thank you for being part of the show, being part of the Bigfoot Outlaw family, our lovely supportive community, for supporting Joyce through her readings, for having that lovely conversation with me about the hidden side of the occult. We're coming at you live, coast to coast and around the world, available on all podcasting platforms. I'm here every week and maybe soon a little bit more. Thank you for joining us. Have an amazing night. Make sure that you watch Grizzly's stream all over the weekend. Great to see you and take care. Bye.